right, welcome, Algebra 2. We are working on 6.4, long division of polynomials. So it's been a little while since you have done long division, but here is what we're going to set up. So the first term goes inside, let me get a different color here, or underneath, whoop, that's not a square, the division sign, pardon me, and the second term goes on the outside. That's how you set it up. So when we divide, remember we're trying to figure out what you can multiply 3 by to get these terms here. So 3 times what gives me 9? And that's 3. So we multiply 3 times 3, and remember we subtract. Since it's 0, I'm not going to write it, but I'm going to bring down these terms. So now I have to figure out what I do multiply 3 by to get 3. Whoopsies, wrong type. Well, that's 1. Oh my goodness, Gonzalez, come on. So 3 times 1 is 3. Again, subtract. And now I have to figure out what I multiply 3 by to get 6 this time. That's 2. So 6 goes down here. 6 minus 6, well, that's 0. So remember, the answer to this is going to be 312. We're going to take that process and use it for polynomials. So in our next part, hopefully I can get out of this, I want you to write these things here into the next part, all right, using long division. Again, we're on 6.4. So pause it, write these second polynomial on the outside, first polynomial on the inside, and both polynomials in standard form, and the all exponents. We're going to use those items to do our next part of the notes. So pause it, and then when you're done, restart. All right, welcome back. So let's start with our first example. Okay, I haven't figured out how to get rid of those, I'm sorry. So to set up the polynomial, first off, this is going to be our second polynomial, all right, and this one's the first polynomial. So remember, the second polynomial goes on the outside, and the first polynomial goes on the inside. So that's the setup of it. Now sometimes, going on to example 2, and again, I'm sorry, I wish I could figure out how to, let me see if I can just delete it. I'm definitely really good at this, huh? I have to put it in standard form, which means the biggest exponent first and working your way down. But again, going through this, the second polynomial goes on the outside, and the first polynomial goes on the inside. Now if you see, it has x to the third and it has x to the first, so it's missing an exponent. So that's where we deal with the it must include all exponents. And we put in 0 when it's not included. So that's 25x to the third. It's missing x squared, so we do 0x squared plus 30x to the first plus 40. Okay, so that's the setup. So let's do some other warm-up information before we go on to the real deal part. Wish I could just, sorry, I'm not good with technology on that. It's a work in progress, right? Okay, so review stuff. I need to figure out what I multiply 3 by to get 15. Well, that's going to be 3 times 5. And whenever you have the exponents, you're adding the exponents. So x times x, that gives me x squared. So to get 15x squared, I multiply 3x times 5x. So let's try another one. What do I multiply 5 by to get 25? Well, that's 5. And to get x to turn into x to the third, a little too high, I guess. Let's move it down. Remember, we're adding the exponent, so that would be 2. So 5x to the first times 5x squared That gives me 25x to the third. The last warm-up, what do I multiply 6x by to get 12? Well, I'm not changing this. Oh, Gonzalez. I'm not changing that. It's going to stay x. So what do I multiply 6 by to get 12? That's 2. That's going to be very, very, very helpful in our examples here. Okay, so setting this up, let's just get rid of all of it. Yeah, I figured out how to get rid of all of it. You're welcome. Just in time for the big examples. So it's in standard form. And again, I put the first polynomial on the outside. And the second polynomial on the inside. All right, so our goal is to match the lead terms. What do I multiply 3x by to get 15x squared? Well, we practiced that. It's 5x. Now, the hardest part, I think, to understand on this is I have to multiply 5x times both of these terms. All right, so that gives me 15x squared and also gives me 5x. Now remember what we did in our example before is we subtracted. So that means plus a negative and also a negative there because we're subtracting, so we're changing our signs. The x squared's gone. And then I have 8x plus negative 5x. That gives me 3x. Bring this down. All right, so now what do I multiply 3x by to get 3x? Well, that's going to be a 1. Now remember, I have to multiply it times both of those terms. So 3x times 1 is 3x, and 1 times 1 is 1. I'm subtracting, aka adding the opposite, so plus, negative, negative. The 3x's are gone, they're eliminated, and then negative 12 plus negative 1, negative 13. So here's how you write your remainder. You'd take plus negative 13 over my second polynomial. And everything on top here, this is, oh, Gonzalez. Everything on top here is the answer. So let's try another one, then we'll definitely be practicing this soon. All right, I want you to practice setting this up. Include all of the polynomials or all of the exponents. So 5x plus 10's on the outside. 25x to the third plus 0x squared. We need that placeholder. Minus 80x plus 40. Again, we're trying to match the lead terms. What do I multiply 5x to get 25x to the third? Well, we've done that. We figured out it was 5x squared. Remember, you're going to multiply them times both terms. So why don't you pause and try that real quick? Okay, so that gives me 25x squared plus 50, or wait, not x squared, x to the third plus 50x squared. All right, so now we change our signs. So this is subtracting, meaning add the opposite. So plus negative, negative. So I get negative 50x squared and bring all of these down. All right, so now what do I multiply 5x by to get negative 50x squared? Well, that's negative 10x. Change it to adding the opposite, so plus. So everything below it, so that's positive, positive. So now I should get not 180x, but 20x. All right, so now what do I multiply 5x by to get 20x? Oops, wrong color. Well, that is 4. So 20x plus 40, and change it to adding the opposite. I get 0. I don't have to write 0, so my answer is just going to be 5x squared minus 10x plus 4. Try the homework, try it out. We'll continue practicing this. I know it's a tough topic. Thank you for working so hard today, and let us know if you have any questions. Thanks.